Alright, let me just double check all my stream settings and then we'll get started. And that's right, Diablo 2 on a Friday. I thought they added more stuff to the YouTube settings. Alright, I think we're all set. Alright, let's jump in. Continue our adventure through Nightmare. And Act 2, which is not a great act for a summon necro. Neither is Act 3. Act 4 is okay, as is Act 5. Come on, Clayton. Let's talk to everybody.
Now that Andariel is dead, I can return and outfit the rogues properly. Once I've made some trades here, I'll be free to head back to their monastery. Let me know if you want to travel along.
Thanks, Wareve. What a pal.
Jaren has his father's strength and wits. He's young, but he rules this place with wisdom and care. I think he'll grow into a fine sultan, provided we all survive this crisis.
Provided indeed. Well, it sounds like you have a choice to make, Matthew.
Greetings. I'm Mashif, captain of this ship here. I make port runs around the Twin Seas and occasionally out to Kingsport in Westmarch. I haven't sailed anywhere lately, though. Jaren has ordered me to stay docked here in case of emergency.
I don't know how long tonight's stream is going to be. I have some ice cream waiting for me downstairs, so...
I don't know why you people keep pestering me. Grays seems to have this place locked down nice and tight. Not that I couldn't have done the same. I've proven my valor in combat plenty of times.
I didn't gossip with, Mashif.
Good day. Yeah.
This guy outside just
Mashif's
revving
okay,
on a
I
Friday
guess.
night.
But I'll be
Go out there
damned
and
if I ever get on a
give him
ship.
a stern
I don't
talking
even
to.
like to drink water.
Persuasion check.
I don't expect this of you, but if you want to help me, I would be grateful. In the sewers below our city, there lurks a horrid creature that hungers for human flesh. The creature has killed many, including my son and my husband. If you destroy it, I will reward you. Please, be careful though. That beast has taken enough from us already. The sewer entrance is through the trapdoor, just up the street. Mashif seldom patronizes my establishment. I think he prefers to stay out there on his leaky ship.
Don't talk about a man's ship that way.
Hey, don't touch my drink, or I'll bore a hole into your skull with my thumb.
Good to see you. The Lady Farah has a proud, noble air about her. There are two entrances to the sewers, I believe. One of them is right near here, down by the water beneath the docks. I can see it from my ship, and you can bet I keep an eye on it every night.
I always wondered if there's any sort of, like, deep sea demons in Diablo lore. What are the hazards of sailing the high seas besides storms and running aground?
Good day. I've heard tales of walking corpses out in the desert at night, though I've never actually seen one.
You may not pass.
I think that guy and Gandalf would get along pretty well.
How do I know I can trust you, hmm? You may be as shifty as that pack rat Elzix who runs the inn. But if you need a potion, though, I suppose I can make you one. For a price, of course.
Of course.
Trogdon? Oh, he's a good friend of mine. I help him find exotic spell components in alchemical books from time to time. I think he used to be a sorcerer of great renown, but he doesn't like to talk about his past. I hear that beast is after body parts. Does he eat them? Ugh, ghastly.
I know much about the ancient religions. I was trained as a paladin of Zakarum in the Eastern Koras Temple many years ago. The shrines in the desert are leftover artifacts from the Great Sin War that ravaged these lands almost 1,000 years ago. They still function, but most travelers believe them only to be remnants of the distant past. I believe that the creature you refer to is one of the ancient Horadric mummies from the tombs that lie buried beneath the desert sands. It is unusual for one of his kind to be so far away from his resting place. I sense in this entity a restless and malevolent spirit.
You have quite a treasure there in that Horadric.
Alright, we're not ready to listen to that. Well, yeah, guess we can go and talk to him about it.
I talked at length with Wariv as we crossed the desert from Kandurus. He has many fascinating tales of the dangers of the desert. His experience may be useful to you. The Horadrim used to mummify their highest mages and infuse them with spells that would allow them to protect their tombs, even after death. I have no idea why one of them would be acting so malevolently. Perhaps Drognan or Farah would know more about this. You have quite a treasure there in that Horadric cube.
There are a lot of people to talk to in this
According to Horadric lore,
Orange City.
the cube can restore a Horadric staff.
I missed the rogues
To do
encampment.
it, use the cube
I had
as
5
you would a
people.
scroll.
This has
When the cube
1, 2,
opens,
3,
place
4,
both
5, 6, 7,
pieces
8,
of the
9,
staff
9?
into it and use the cube's transmute power.
Well, it's a little disingenuous
You'll
to
be
8,
pleased to
and then the
know
guard
that
outside the palace.
cube has other alchemical uses as well. 6 gems plus 1 sword transmute into a socketed longsword. You may also transmute 2 quivers of crossbow bolts into 1 quiver of arrows, while 2 quivers of arrows yield 1 quiver of bolts. I must leave it to you to discover other formulae.
Such a weird concept. 2 quivers for bolts, and then 2 cases of bolts for 1 quiver.
I've heard that you are responsible for banishing Andariel back to the burning hells. I'm impressed, stranger. That couldn't have been easy. My name is Drognan, and I know what you're up against, my friend. You ought to look over my inventory of items for trade. Good day. Mashif and his vessel should remain here, lest we risk taking demonic stowaways to other lands. Farah and I have been talking about the creature recently. From my studies, I have deduced that it is Radamant the Fallen, an ancient Horadric mummy that has for some reason left his tomb to prey on mortals. I'm doing some more research now. If you check back later, I may have some more insight as to his nature.
I don't know if 2 dogs into a cat would be a worthwhile trade. Granted, I don't think 2 quivers into a case of bolts is a worthwhile trade either.
I bet you wonder how this town manages to stay safe with all the trouble going on out in the desert. Well, I can tell you that it's got nothing to do with the local town guards. They're all in the palace for some reason. Jaren hired me and my...
Whoops.
I bet you wonder how this town manages to stay safe with all the trouble going on out in the desert.
I don't have to listen to all this
Well, I
stuff
can tell
again,
you
but
that it's got nothing to do
I like
with
to.
the
It's good
local
voice
town
acting.
guards. They're all in the palace for some reason. Jaren hired me and my mercenaries to help keep the peace around here. We're not cheap, but we're the best this wasteland has to offer. I haven't talked much to Farah. She keeps to herself most of the time. I get the feeling that she doesn't like us mercenary types much. I've personally found some of that devil's victims washed up out of the sewer. Often they are missing limbs or a head,
and their bodies have always been skinned. At first, the creature raided the town at night. That's how Atma lost her family. Now we've got him barricaded in the sewers. You're safe up here on the surface, but every now and again, some fool wants to be a hero and heads down to the waste tunnels with a pig sticker.
Yeah, but I don't know if they want to participate in that harem or not, considering
Yes, citizen.
the state of it. Alright, before I go hiring anybody, let me unequip. Wait, what does my current painting have? Days Blessed Aim. Where I thought you could only get Blessed Aim on normal and hell difficulty. Am I misremembering? Did they change it? There's Holy Freeze. Wasn't Holy Freeze? So it was 3 types, right? 3 types for each difficulty. Or am I misremembering? So do they not do the increased damage mercenaries anymore, or is it limited to hell?
I can't carry anymore.
I'll put that to good use. I'll put that to good use.
Ah, you must be one of the new heroes who've come to rid our city of evil. Under any other circumstances, I'd be surprised to see one of your kind in this city. But lately... Oh, never mind all that. You know, I used to be quite the scoundrel in my day. I led the fiercest group of bandits who ever terrorized these sands. Nowadays, I run this here inn and pretty much stay out of trouble. My days of adventuring are behind me. Farah is a good woman. She seems very sad, but seldom speaks of her past. She's good to the poor and helps people when she can. That makes her all right in my book.
Okay, so it's just bad luck this time around. So I guess the change would be that the stuff you can hire in normal difficulty is available in Nightmare as well.
I hear that the creature kills his victims in order to hack off their limbs. I guess that makes me a less likely candidate, eh?
Alright, well, let's head down in the sewers. I'll deal with my mercenary upgrade later. Oh, Flesh Wolf. How many can I have? 10, right? Get him, guys. Don't poison the hammer.
Not enough mana.
Alright, got my summons out. Just kind of cruising. because I save these for emergencies. If I have the time to use it in my, I don't like seeing this emptied. I have to refill it, where if I can just use it straight out of here, it saves me having to refill that later. Which I guess it fills up on its own when I pick up stuff. So I mean, it's... Yeah, I don't like seeing the potions disappear off my belt. I do use them for emergencies, like if I'm fighting Diablo and he's messing me up, or Duriel. I use them then, but... Had a pretty good week. Oh, and a heads up to everybody. There's going to be 3 Let's Plays going on starting the 3rd. And that's going to continue for a long time. Because there's a lot of games coming out, and the only way to play them all on the schedule that I want to play them all is to play 3 at a time. There may even be a 4 Let's Play period. Because there's a game coming out on the 3rd that I want to play, and there's a game coming out on the 13th I want to play. And that'll probably take me into the DLC for Wrath of the Righteous, and then Rogue Trader comes out December 7th. So Lamplighters League comes out on the 3rd, and then Lords of the Fallen, the 2023 version of the game, comes out... Lost a page. On the 13th. And then I think it's, what, November 27th or something for the DLC for Wrath of the Righteous. Then December 7th for Rogue Trader. I missed a path up there. I'm sure it's just a dead end, but we have to go back and clear it out anyway. Hey, Red Eye Clips. Alright, let's head back before we make it too far into the dungeon. Clear out the corner up here. Oh, so the new season did come out today, didn't it? Kept seeing the ad for it, kept thinking it was already out since the ad was like 7 minutes long. Yeah, I was gonna stream last night too, because I've had the past few days off. And, but Fiona and Kate came out yesterday, so I watched that instead. Yeah, they came out with the Fiona and Cake miniseries. It's 10 episodes long. They did 2 episodes every week. It was pretty good. It's a lot more adult than the Adventure Time show. A little bit of cursing, a little bit of gore. Nothing too crazy. I think it's rated TV 14, but it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. It was a good, you know, jump back into the show. It's kind of like with Samurai Jack, how they stopped after season 4, and then season 5 came out several years later. It was a little bit more adult as well. It's good to jump back into that little nostalgia trip. Oh, absolutely, yeah. After season 1, they had the kind of the overarching lore and story that they were telling. But no, this is a little bit more adult though. But very good. I really enjoyed it. There's 2 bosses in this area. There were 2 bosses in that area. I hope you enjoy it. It's I feel like the past few episodes of the Baldur's Gate series has been pretty exciting. A lot of stuff going on. I don't think resisting cold's gonna be that useful in this area, but sure. Bane Vex, 3rd boss, 2nd floor already. The more I play Baldur's Gate, the more I want to start another run. I might start another run. Well, I don't have time with all the other games coming out. I'll have to wait till I finish this one at least. Thought about starting a second run, now that I've made it this far into the first one. They wouldn't overlap. I'm disappointed that Halston isn't companion until later in the game. He's just sitting there in my camp, not doing anything. Yeah, I think I messed up one of the choices for Lae'zel during her quest. I think, yeah, you should see it in the next episode that comes out tomorrow. I had, I thought I had more influence, but then I think I selected the wrong thing. Also, her quest kind of bugged out anyway, because it was, I think today's episode, where it said I left the chamber and then I didn't. So. Not a big deal either way. She's not part of my A team in this run. And it's not a spoiler. I wouldn't consider it one. I just made a... I think I may have made the wrong choice. Stop running through poison. I can't see the clouds because I have so many skeletons. Granted, they start glowing green. I should know not to run wherever they were standing. The poison damage would be pretty solid if it applied on my curses. Well, I'm not really playing a tank, but yeah. She's still trying to take my role, though. The two-handed damage dealer. And she's real good at jumping, just like my character is. What a jerk. Haze White the Sharp. Oh, no, Raveler Head.
Overburdened.
I don't need that junk. Only +1 to Iron Golem. Yeah, not worth it. Kind of, though there are weapons specific. Well, I guess not specific, but they look better on Lae'zel. I don't know, I'm thinking about turning my Karlach into a throwing build. She gets bonus damage when she's frenzied with throwing weapons, so might give her a Tavern Brawler, the feat on her next feat she gets.
What taste of undead flesh.
New skill. Alright. Skeleton Mastery. Right on. I may as well pop this. Oh, was it? Yeah, that's one of the contenders, but she's not gonna be part of my A team, and it's a very good piece of equipment. So I'm split on who to give it to right now. I could give her that robe that I found too, that gives the bonus of dexterity. It gives what, Cat's Grace, and there was another effect. I forgot what it was. When did I lose skeletons? They pay more attention. Now I wanna play through the game a few more times, a few more builds, just to try a few things out. The next run will be a Dark Urge with probably a Warlock. And my plan right now is to make deals with everybody. So Raphael, when I met him, I'll just agree to his terms. The Absolute, I'll try to get branded by them. Maybe side with like Auntie Ethel. And of course I have my patron to worry about as well, so it's kind of hopefully by the end of the game everyone's fighting over my soul. And I may not even have to lift a finger. Oh, there's a lot of good games coming out though. You have Lamplighters League, Lords of the Fallen. I think Lamplighters League looks really cool. I really like the aesthetic, like that aesthetic in a time period, which is redundant. That period. Yeah, I'll probably do that at some point. That might be more of a streamed playthrough than, oh man, the Experience Shrine and the dungeon's almost done. I might stream that, kind of like I did with Stormgrounds. Well, it has a full campaign. I don't know. I might do a Let's Play of it. But it's not on my priority list. I have Lamplighters League, Lords of the Fallen, Wrath of the Righteous DLC, and then Rogue Trader right now, along with what I'm currently playing. I chose Arclash Legacy because it's a relatively short game, and that should be done not by the 3rd, but by the 13th, so hopefully it doesn't overlap. I don't want to do 4 Let's Plays a day is a pretty tall order, so 3 I can manage. 4 starts to get a little heavy. Hey, experience. Yeah, my necromancer, I'm sure. Or maybe my mercenary could use it. Yeah, I used to do that as well. I mean, I still watch Let's Plays. So it gets a little harder to do now because I try to avoid games that I'm either currently playing or plan on playing, so I don't want to spoil myself. It helps that I often play older games or, you know, games people aren't interested in playing. It doesn't come up that often. Anyway, since Get Dave doesn't do Let's Plays anymore, I have a lot more time anyway.
Greetings.
Yeah, I'll keep all the resist ones for now. Since I put all my points into vitality, having all that resist is really good. I am. As soon as I speak to Atma.
Good evening. They say that the taste of vengeance is bittersweet, but I find it to my liking. In addition to my undying gratitude, I have spoken on your behalf with the rest of the townspeople. The merchants have agreed to show their gratitude by offering their wares and services at lower rates. Oh, Jaren wants to see you too. You'll find him in front of the palace.
Yeah, I've
They say that
I played a few MMOs in my time. I've actually played one on the channel. I played Star Wars The Old Republic through the Scoundrel story. I still plan on doing the rest of the campaigns, but I don't know when.
Yes? Whoa. Radamant the Fallen, is it? I've fallen off many a bar stool. No one calls me Geglash the Fallen. I might go so far as to say, Geglash, you've fallen.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed there aren't skeleton archers. They skipped the archers and went straight to mages. I guess the archers would be a little redundant with all the physical damage. I am level 46, almost 47.
As you have helped Atma and all of us, so shall I help you.
I had a whole bunch of money, then my free 30-day trial ran out, and they took all my money away.
Yes?
I know I can still get it at some point, but I can't store it anymore.
If you haven't already, tell Atma that Radamant is dead. It may help to ease the weight of her mourning.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the Quest for Glory games.
You have quite a treasure there.
They're on my to-do list.
You have.
Alright.
There's nothing the right portion can't cure.
It was just in my inventory. I didn't use a bank. But they have the free-to-play version. You can only hold, I think, 1,000,000 credits.
Yes? Atma's been telling everyone what you've done for her.
You have to maintain your subscription if you want the, hold more than that. I don't know if it's a limitless amount or not.
Good job, mate. At night out on my ship, I was often awakened by that fiend's awful moaning. I'll bet I rest easier now.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed my time with the Old Republic. I'm not a huge MMO guy, so I've gotten pretty heavily invested into a couple of them. I played Guild Wars back around the same time I was playing Diablo 2, and I got into Elder Scrolls Online when it first came out.
Good evening. You've killed Rodamund, eh? That's quite a nice piece of work. If you ever need a job as a mercenary, I'd be happy to sign you up.
Well, more importantly, do you have... Son of a gun. I never played the second Guild Wars.
Hello.
I only played the second and third expansion for the first Guild Wars. Factions and Nightfall.
We ran into one of those old tomb guardians when I ran with my bandits. I know they aren't easy foes to face, so you sure have my respect. Have you told Atma yet?
BDO. Dragon's Dogma Online? Yeah, I know it's where you get the Might Merc. At least it used to. They changed it, just to spite me.
I have heard of your many deeds of skill and bravery. I feel I can trust you with something I have been...
Yeah, I always feel like I'm rushing to keep up with MMOs. They just eat so much of your time.
Concluded that the Dark Wanderer who passed through here recently was Diablo himself. Drognin believes that Diablo is searching the desert for the secret tomb.
Never played
where
that
the
one.
great Horadric mage
I played
Rasha keeps Baal in prison.
The Age of Conan.
You must find Diablo and put an end to the terrible evil that has fallen upon
The
our
Warhammer
city.
MMO for a bit
Drognin is wise
before it
and is
got
sure to have some helpful
canceled.
advice for you as to how Telrasha's tomb may be found. It may take you quite some time to find the tomb. May you be ready when you do.
I used to be obsessed with MMOs and online games because I didn't have internet until like 2009, 2008. And even then I think it was pretty spotty. To play Diablo 2 back in the day, we had like the free dial-up. Like 30-day trials with People PC and AOL. And then we got high-speed internet through Altel. They canceled Altel. Well, Verizon bought Altel. They shut down the tower next to us. We lost our service. It was a USB Wi-Fi thing. And then after that, I didn't really have internet till like 2015, like high-speed internet.
For trade in magic and the like, see Drognin or Lysander. Drognin is the wisest man I know, without equal in magic and ancient lore. Poor Lysander is nearly deaf, but he's a reliable potion.
I played
chemist.
Neverwinter
For
as
travel
well.
back west, see Wariv, whom you already know. Our own Farah is a fine and honest armorer, and she can heal wounds as well. Elzix is the innkeeper, and may also have some items to trade. Grays, the mercenary captain I hired to secure the gates of Lut Gholein, keeps order in town
Yeah,
as
ESO,
well.
I bought it. I bought the
There are
Imperial
others
Edition.
here too.
Actually, I have the statue
I'm
of
sure
Molag
you'll
Bal.
meet most of them. Just look around.
Or I did. It used to be on my desk. I don't know where it's at. Might be in storage. I enjoyed my time with it. I paid for the subscription for 6 months, and then I went into deployment.
Greetings.
They came out with an expansion, and when I came back, I couldn't get back into it.
It is well known that there are 7 great Horadric tombs hidden beneath the sands in the furthest reaches of the desert. One of them surely must be Telrasha's prison. You must explore each of the tombs to find Telrasha's exact location. Of course, Diablo is searching for the tomb as well. No one can guess as to what terrors he has unleashed in his search. Things are getting worse by the hour. I know everything looks fine, but trust me, it isn't.
I believe you. I've been inside the palace before. Well, even then, there's a lot of consoles. If you connect to the internet, they can probably just stop you from playing the game. I also have my PlayStation 2 and N64, so
Be very careful.
if push ever
my
came to
friend.
shove, I could still play
I
some
think I've
games.
seen enough recently not to doubt that these tombs exist. And if they do, they are most certainly guarded by terrible creatures.
When Tal Rasha chose to embody the spirit of Baal, he knew his doom was to wrestle eternally against the will of the greater evil. Look around you and ask yourself, has the battle been won or lost?
Legend has it that Tal Rasha lies imprisoned within his tomb, forever struggling to keep the Lord of Destruction bound. His was a selfless act, although perhaps foolhardy.
Well, he's the youngest as well. We also beat him in every game. So, he doesn't have a good track record.
Diablo nears his goal. We have little time to lose. Remember, my friend, that Andariel gave herself willingly to Diablo's cause. It would be prudent to assume that the other evils will attempt to aid their master as well.
I'm sorry, I can't help you much here. Now, if the tombs were across the ocean, then I'd be the guy to talk to.
Talking about Lilith? She's the antagonist of the Diablo 4.
There's no trouble a mug can't cure. I've heard legends of the tomb of Tal Rasha, but I thought they were just old tales meant to scare young children.
Takes so long to go around and talk to everybody in this town.
Oh, I'd go with you to those tombs, but, I don't like all that living dead stuff.
Allow me to advise you. Tal Rasha's tomb is hidden deep in the desert among 6 others. Tal Rasha's symbol marks the true tomb. If you want to know what that symbol is, you should be able to find it within the legendary Arcane Sanctuary. From what you tell me, it would seem that Rodamant was bent on the task of reviving his own mummified corpse with the flesh of the living. This is very unusual indeed. It takes an incredible magic power to alter the singular purpose of an undead mind. Perhaps there is a power at work here, which is beyond my ken.
Alright, skeletons. Don't get any ideas.
If you're going into the deep desert, why not hire a few of my men to watch your back?
Because I can only hire one due to the game's mechanics. What a load of malarkey.
We ran into one of those... So, you're going to search for the 7 tombs, huh? Don't you know that they're just desert legends, passed between merchants and travelers? No one really believes that they exist.
I need to hurry to finish this game. So, well, I may not finish it. I might just jump into the Holostream game, starting maybe Sunday. Those Return to Diablo 2. Hate doing that. Hate jumping around though, because I have to go through and reset the stream and everything. Hate it for lazy reasons. Alright, circle back, guys. Wandering too far away. Personally, I like the voices in Disco Elysium. One, because I don't think I would have done a lot of the characters justice had I been reading the dialogue. So my opinion is swayed by my Let's Plays. Blade poison. Wrath poison. What a bunch of uniquely named enemies. Alright. Skeleton mastery and more vitality. Gen V, I'll probably watch it. I watched The Boys, so I think it's BG3's difficulty is a little hit and miss. I don't know, it doesn't seem super difficult yet. But I'm also not playing on Tactician, I'm playing on Balanced. I'll probably do Tactician in my next run through, because it seems more balanced than, say, Wrath of the Righteous on Unfair. I think it's balanced. But I am saying that having played the game on Balanced. I watched the Ahsoka series. I didn't watch Rebels because I couldn't stand some of the characters. I watched the highlights though. So I'm familiar, I know the story. Clone Wars was good, but I didn't care for Rebels very much. Can you turn off the voices in the Disco Elysium Final Cut? I never tried. No, you don't need mana for the Necromancer necessarily. As long as you have enough mana to summon your skeletons, you just pop potions if you need to summon more. Because once your skeletons are up, they usually don't die. Well, until hell. Or against certain bosses. And the only spell you're really spamming is Amplify Damage, and it only costs 4 mana. So, you want Vitality to survive. And enough strength to equip items. Sorry, I think I'm a little bit behind on the comments on the chat. But not as far behind as I thought. It's not really a tank build. I mean, you take a few hits. But it's just, none of the other stats are important for a summon Necro. Now, if I was doing like a Bow Necro, yeah, I'd need mana. But not for this build, since it's a fairly passive build. Yeah, and most games I prefer no voice acting. because I feel like it limits the narrative. No, if the characters you're speaking to are voice acted, it's fine. Like, you know, look at Fallout 3 versus Fallout 4. I like the design behind Fallout 3. Fallout 4, I don't like the voice protagonist because it really limits the player's roleplay options. Banefester. And I think games like Fallout, a large draw to the game is the player choice, like the different dialogue options. Even if they don't really amount to much at the very end, it's still fun seeing different reactions from the NPCs you're interacting with. Having more dialogue options based on your build. I don't know that gets talked about a lot, but man, the downgrade from to Fallout 4. Now, that's not to say I didn't enjoy Fallout 4. There's a lot of things I did enjoy, like the overall aesthetic, the gunplay was better. The ghouls were really well designed. Weapon modification system, armor mods, that was all good. Yeah, vitality's just hit points. You get your defenses from items, so like I still have solid resistances. My poison resist is terrible, but I have reduced poison time. What's it actually called? Yeah, poison length reduced by 25%. So I still don't take that much poison damage. And again, I don't really need armor class since I'm not in the thick of things, so. But yeah, Diablo 2, it is less about like the base stats, so the armor class and like the weapon damage isn't as important as the effects. I'm pretty sure. Defense 65, defense 120. But this has plus 97% enhanced defense, that's why. Well, 3 socket breastplate, I might be able to do something with that. We'll keep that on hand. No, vitality is not also resist. My resistance is separate from my vitality. But having such a high vitality means my resistances are better. My equipment gives me my resistances and my charms that I have. Because your resistances scale with how much health you have and vice versa. Yeah, someone else said I'd make a good voice actor. I don't see it, because I don't really have a lot of inflection. I guess I probably do more in my personal life than I do on the channel. Bilethorn the Mauler. It's the color of their hands. So I have 2 frost mages and a poison mage. You have to look at their hands to tell. And it's random which one gets summoned. Like the mage we just killed over here, he had a shock effect on his hand, so he does lightning damage. And And then it's only fire after that, so. If you want to get a specific one, you just have to keep summoning them until you get the one that you want. Yeah, like these guys have the shock effect. I'm offended, Hector. And I'll remember that. No, I don't want to pursue voice acting. Not my cup of tea. I did theater in high school. That's where I stopped. It's also how I met my wife. I seem a little impatient. If we get impatient, just start exploding corpses. You said you didn't like the Fallout games. I enjoy the Fallout games. They're comfort games. Also games that at least Fallout 3, not so much New Vegas, but Fallout 3 I have like memorized like the back of my hand. I'm pretty sure I could still tell you where everything's at in the game. Yeah, someone else said I could do like audiobooks. Not ones that require voice acting, of course. Not in Hector's opinion, anyway. Almost a mage. Here we go. Welcome back, buddy. Oh, who are we fighting? Saw a boss in here somewhere. Hit Pox the Dead. Is that really his name? Well, he's living up to it. I might as well top off. Because they're very strong. So I currently have... What am I doing? I'll go. I'll remember the key for skills. There it is, T. Of course, why wouldn't T be for skills? I have 24 points in the raised skeleton, which currently gives them 505 life. They have 665 defense, which is very good. Then I'm also maxing out skeleton mastery, which gives them even more health and damage. Also have some resistance, so they have currently 39% resist all, so all elemental effects they resist by 39%. And I think that's the only bonuses, right? So, they're just very tanky. And there's so many of them, like, it's hard for the enemies to prioritize one to take down at a time. And they're all wailing on a single enemy. It's just... The numbers are in my favor. What's the mage again, though? The mages are very squishy. If all goes well, they don't get hit anyway, so... Ah, I ran into the poison. Oh gosh. Top off real quick. Oh, Sharpex. I didn't see the boss. Dull rune. Okay, that's my first one. They are, and they can have some pretty nasty effects, especially towards hell. I think every difficulty they get an extra effect. They start becoming immune to certain damage types. Well, unless you're playing the Necromancer, then you can break any sort of immunity. So it's less that they're tough by themselves, but if you're playing on Hell and trying to go through a mob and you don't see the boss there, it can end pretty poorly. I'm a little safer because I have a little army in front of me. If you're playing like a Barbarian and you run in and start whirlwinding and a boss smacks you once and you die, I mean, it can maybe game over. I just like reading their names. I always try to find them in the crowd and see what they're called. Charisma and strength. I guess a little bit of intelligence. Do like reading. Dreadheart. It'd be a shame if I didn't know how to read. So I invested into strength and charisma. Yeah, they're randomly generated. Sharp spell to quick. I don't know. I mean, the modifiers dictate partially what they're called. There's a few set bosses, like the one in the Den of Evil in the beginning. The Smith. Rakanishu. Yeah, Paladin or Cavalier or something like that. That's that ideally. Always kind of led from the front. Yeah, I've been in charge of people before, and it usually... Yeah, I did as much work as everyone else, so... If not more. Because I was better at it, so naturally I just end up doing more. I don't want to be a merchant. I don't like sales.
I am overburdened.
I don't want to get rid of the fire resists. Useful. I could add another socket to that. That's a convenient one. All these darn scarabs and their darn lightning damage. Ashburn the Flare. I've luckily had very few interactions with lawyers. I had to go to a trial when I was in middle school. There's a really bad fight on the bus between the bus driver and some students. I was there on because the students' parents, I think, were trying to sue the bus driver. And I was there in defense of the bus driver. Then when I bought my house, and I think that's it. Another boss. 3-5 the something. The witch. Oh no! Well, we killed him before he could turn us into a newt. It says scoot him. I thought it said scrotum for a second. But that's a new item. You'd have to get better. Took care of the witch beforehand. I could tell that the witch weighed less than a duck. I mean, I'm 6'2". I don't need to touch my toes. They're all the way down there. I'm all the way up here. The new DLC is the standalone. It's a continuation of the Through the Ashes DLC. So I'll just continue with the character that I had. Just be able to import them over. Now I'm still going to do another. I still have a lot of runs to go through with Wrath of the Righteous. I'm not close to being done with that game. But I want to finish the Diablo games first, my Hollow Stream series, and then we'll jump back to my Gold Dragon run, which will probably be in time for the final DLC for season Pass 2. Exactly. I mean, I can touch my toes, to be clear. Though, it's a bit of a struggle as I get older. My body hasn't been treated the best through the years. No, it's just a rare item. Yellow is rare, blue is magic, white is common. The gray is socketed or ethereal. Ethereal, they're stronger versions of the items, but they can't be repaired. So it's a temporary upgrade. Didn't fear lightning anyway. Are there any fear lightning in this area? Since it's gonna be a bunch of poison jerks. Yeah, I can't do a whole lot without pain or discomfort. Got some pretty bad pain in my legs and my back. But I still try to stay in the gym. I'm trying to get back to where I was. Actually, I'm trying to get bigger than I was. Alright, get him, guys. Dumb but dangerous. There was a, I don't remember what it was, like a Tumblr post or something I saw posted somewhere else, because I don't actually use Tumblr. But I saw the interaction between a mage and a fighter. I thought it was hilarious. Blade Eater! Hope you're hungry. I've got 11 blades here. I'll look it up real quick. 1 second. Hold on. I don't see it at a quick glance. Well, charismatic. Like, I like the leadership stuff. Oh, whoops. am I doing? Sorry guys, I can bring you back. We don't lose anybody in this run. Sloth and the... Yeah, I think, was it Red Eye Clips that mentioned having to be carried, someone being carried everywhere because they were weak? It's a funny sight. Envisioning, mage in the party, it's just two people to walk around on their own, so the fighters and barbarians have to carry them around. I know my health got to like 50%. Granted, my poison resist is awful, so I guess it's bound to happen. I mean, being Minsk, there may not be a numerical value to it, but that guy's gotta have an insane luck stat. Oh no! I'm using my belt potions. Whew. Getting pretty close there. Yeah, speaking of Minsk, that trailer that Larian released for Baldur's Gate 3, where it was like slowly panned up Minsk's statue, was really cool. I got chills when I watched it. We don't subscribe to a meta in the real world. Every build is viable. Gut Maw. More like Dead Maw. Alright, we'll keep pushing this way. I'll probably do a Necro Barbarian, because the Bone spell gets a pretty wide arc as you upgrade it, along with Bone Armor and Curses. Or a Necro Paladin. Get the auras, give them to your ally, to your summons. Like an undead knight. Necro Druid. We let you summon skeletal wolves and a grizzly bear golem. Actually, it wasn't from Baldur's Gate 2. It was lore after the fact. He was petrified, and they erected him in town, thinking that it was a statue, but it was actually him petrified. No, I've heard two versions. I'm not actually sure what the official story is. He's petrified while out questing, but based on the stance, I'm tend to lean towards his second explanation, where he was willingly petrified, for in case he was needed in the future. But they still thought he was just a regular statue and erected him in the town square. But that explains why he's still around come Baldur's Gate 3, because Black Killer. He's petrified, so he's immune to aging. Because well, Baldur's Gate 3 is 150 years after Baldur's Gate 2. Oh, lost a skeleton. Enough of that. Get in there, guys. Corpse explosions. Biomall and... There are two enemies called Biomall in the same area. If he's a druid, he could. Druids get the, what's it called? Timeless form? It's not immortality, but it is extended life. Right? Might be immortality.
I am overburdened.
That's junk. Alright. Point of skeleton mastery and more into vitality. Whoops. Summoning more Claytons. Alright, so it's a ratio. That's fair. Yeah, that'd be a little rough. It'd be extremely rough as a parent myself. Yeah, I did the same thing. I had a necromancer with a maul when I first played this game, because mauls are awesome. Way more strength than my necromancer needed. And then I ended up going with a druid with a maul. They used hurricane, and that was actually pretty effective. I say you don't really start finding mauls until Act 3. If you get to that point first. Hey, jerk. It's not to be poisoned. Alright, break it in. Corpse explosion is essentially a breaching charge for some of these choke points. Oh, my summons are having a hard time breaking through. As soon as they take one enemy down, it's all over. I mean, it'd be pretty cool to see the sun die. Watch it expand and consume the first few planets. Earth included. Pretty sure the 9th Doctor, his first episode was that, right? Taking Rose to see the end of the world, or like the second episode. You're important, not a pro. Yeah, it's a shame, because I like Christopher Eccleston. Well, at least I liked it. He got me invested in the show. I think David Tennant's the best Doctor, which I think is a pretty common opinion. Okay, see what's going on here. Here we go. Blood Witch the Wild. Corpse explosion galore. Oh, this guy's doing huddled in the corner. Gold. I kind of stopped watching it when Matt Smith did it. Not saying he wasn't a good actor, but kind of fell out of it. Circumstantial. Never really got back into it. I'll try to get the missus to watch it with me. Oh man, immortality without invincibility would be awful. Like it's one of those things, you have to have both. Well, I mean, you can have invincibility without immortality. But having immortality without invincibility, that's brutal. Let me see how long I've been streaming real quick. Yeah. You'd end up like Stubbs the Zombie, which is another game that I want to play, so it's not on my stream this year. Viper Slime the Unholy. Oh, my Mercenary's taking some damage. And he's gonna get replaced eventually anyway, so. Hit Drool, the Itch. These guys are called Itchies. The Raid, it's called. Oh, we did it. We survived.
I am overburdened.
Yeah, of course.
Good day.
Alright, let's check the mercenaries and the wands.
Who goes there?
Matthew, I don't think that I'm gonna get that mercenary if I save and exit.
Good day.
I haven't been paying attention enough to know if that's the same set of mercenaries that first spawned. Also want to summon resist? No thank you. Yeah, I mean, I have +2 to Necromancer skill levels right now. I'm not gonna do +1. Eh. Sanctuary, Demon Ace. It's called Sanctuary because it was a sanctuary for the demons and angels that didn't want to continue fighting. Founded by Lilith and guy whose name starts with an I. Alright, I'm going to wrap up the stream for tonight. I'll be streaming tomorrow and Sunday as well. So Sunday I may start the Hollow stream, so might be a different game. We'll see. I could try to push through and try and finish this beforehand, but we still have a ways to go. We've only done 1 out of 6 quests this stream, so. Alright, hopefully everybody... my goodness, words came out in a jumble. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the stream. Stay safe, stay classy, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. I'm going to do one thing before I go. I'm going to check the mercenaries. It's time for Gulzar to say goodbye. If I can find... There we go, Might! So an active aura increases the damage done by you and your party. And with all the points that I currently have into Skeleton Mastery, well, that's just damage. Attack rating is currently a 680 with raised skeletons, so I don't think that we need Bless at the same time. So, goodbye Gulzar, you've served me well. What level are you? 48. Alright, so all these guys are at 47, that's fine. Emilio, that's quite the name. Is there a better name? Bazel. Hey, Gulzar. You know what? Gulzar, welcome aboard, man.
I can't carry anymore.
I'll put that to good use. I'll put that to good use.
I don't know if any of their stats vary or if they are all the same across the board, but I never bothered checking. There we go. So damage plus 110%. Exciting. Alright, take care everybody. Have a better mercenary for next time. Gosh, lizard stuff popping up. That's my line, Hector. Better watch yourself. Alright.